All right. After talking and talking and talking and talking, we finally have the first prototype, physical prototype here and on the bike. So, yeah, I'm super excited about it. I've been staring at it for the past 2 days, sitting here and just oogling over it, and yeah, I'm super excited. I'm very pleased with a lot of it. There are a few little things here and there that do need to be kind of tweaked and adjusted, but that was the whole point of making a physical version, so he could send it out and I could look at it and get some ideas of what I would want to change, or if we needed to start completely over. And I clearly do not want to start completely over. I am, very impressed, especially the fact that everything was done over the phone and just, texts and photos back and forth, and just, Chris is impressive. I mean, the dude will ask you what type of music you want to, you would listen to while thinking about something. I mean, it's just, he covers all the bases. It's really impressive. You can tell that he cares about this more than just, it's more than just a job. I mean, he thinks of everything, and even when it's for somebody else. Like, this was, for me, and he was still putting more effort than what I was putting in. I mean, honestly, he was pushing harder than even I was, and that says a lot. I mean, it's such an impressive thing, and you can tell he has a passion for this stuff. So I am super excited. I trust that he knows what he's doing, he knows what he's talking about, and it's gonna happen because he's made so much happen already. But let's jump into what I really like about it. I want to start with that, obviously. Just here in the front, the way he's done this boss is just so cool. It's awesome. It looks just so well thought out. And I like how chunky it is, and it looks really heavy. And then as you come up this whole front, I just love how it's immediately vertical. That's exactly what I was hoping for. Almost not quite like it's falling forward, but just really have that contrast of like crashing into here. And then, all of his different angles he's created with the facet or chamfer on this edge here. And then the way the bottom like starts from a rounded edge and comes up and around and follows. Like, I don't know. It's so many things I love about it. I'm planning on running this Wazzle ribbed fender, and so he's kind of incorporated this rib in the back here, which is a cool little detail. Now, the only thing, the major thing, I guess, that I'm not super crazy about is the width. We kind of guessed with numbers, and it's a little bit too wide for this bike particularly. It would look great on something with a larger engine, larger just components, but since this is such a petite bike, it's just a little too wide. But if you look at the side profile, that to me is just perfect. So as you wrap around, I think it just needs to kind of have a similar flow as far as the side profile to the rear profile, just kind of slim it up. So if it was slightly narrower across the back and then came down, and I think this needs to kind of be skinnied up to match the front boss. This is a bit wide here, so I think if that kind of narrowed, that would really complement. It's a skinny frame and everything. And then I want him to play with it in CAD so I can see, but in my mind, I've got this idea kind of where the positive angle on the back here would kind of continue and then crash almost like the back of a Sportster tank, where it would just kind of come down into a smooth line instead of having the negative concave kind of angle here. So I don't know, maybe that won't work. In my head it looks good, but maybe if an actual drawing of it may not be the same. So I'm hoping he can kind of create something that has a little bit more of a curve and then a drop, and then have that boss to match the way the front one looks back here. But other than that, I mean, it's just like I said, the side profile, it's phenomenal. I love it. It's exactly what I was hoping for. Super obnoxious, over the top, just wild, something different. I think it kind of complements that nacelle nicely. Now, obviously, I'll have to run a taller bar. I'm not married to these bars. I don't know exactly what I am going to run, but I do think that I will have plenty of room as far as the distance between the swing of the bar to the tank. I'll have to play with it, but it's about as close as it's going to get. I can't run anything else anyway, so I'm willing to accommodate whatever I have to up here, as long as this doesn't get any bigger. It can't move any further forward, and it's landing right before the split here at the rear. So yeah, I hope you guys can kind of see what I see. In person, it's just a completely different thing too. Like, I don't think photos or videos does it justice. But if you can really use your imagination, imagine it in aluminum with a pattern. I don't know. Maybe I haven't explained this. I just now realized I probably haven't talked about it enough. But the plan is he has connections with a foundry that will be able to cast this as one piece, hopefully. It may not work. We have a plan if it doesn't, but as of right now, our goal is to cast it as a single piece. And then this side here is going to have like a textured pattern kind of thing cast into it, something really unique. Something I would really like to try and achieve something that can only be done with a casting. So we'll see how that turns out, but that's kind of the goal. So this will be something unique, and then these will be smooth sections that will either get polished, or we'll go like polished and then have my brother does phenomenal paint work, so I thought about maybe having something painted down the center and then polishing these two outer edges, or I don't know, something to that effect. But I'm gonna wait till I actually have it before we make any final decisions. But yeah, just super radical, very extreme. You can tell this has been inspired by the kind of more exaggerated Japanese style choppers. Crazy Orange does tanks like this. There's quite a few people have done tanks that are really front heavy like that, really tall and exaggerated. Also, I'm playing around with some oil tank ideas, so we'll talk about that another time when I get a little bit more on it. But anyway, the reason this is on the ground is because my friend Justin wants his bike finished, and so we've got it up here on the frame jig with its wheels on it, so kind of looks silly, but we needed to do some welding, so we figured why not just do it here right on the bench. And so we've got to get his tank mounted. I'm gonna let him kind of go over some more details when he gets down here, but tank needs mounted, seat needs mounted, fender needs mounted, and can't really remember. Oh, I think we got to come up with a headlight bracket maybe, but just some small stuff. But he doesn't have a welder at home, so we figured why not just really quick do it here. So I'll try and get some video. I don't know how much I'm gonna be able to get him to be on camera or not, but we'll show you what we're doing. Just hopefully it's fun and you guys want to follow along. All right, well, we worked without you guys last night. We actually ended up spending more time talking than getting anything done. He did get all of his seat hardware components welded on, so built well front hinge, and then I think lowbrow lugs. I'd have to double check with him, but those nice little standoffs for the seat springs, he got those well. This is actually a lowbrow rigid section that he got. They're super nice. I really like the way the overall length and just the build quality of it. It's super quality. So if you're thinking about getting one of those, now that I've seen one, I can highly recommend it. Now, originally, he had bought this Wazzle Peanut, and he already got it Caswell and everything, and the more we were looking at it, he wanted to actually kind of play around with some other tanks, and I had this Sportster tank laying around, so we threw it on there, and it actually looks pretty good. I mean, for the style that he's going for, kind of convinced us both that this might be the way to go. I threw a little headlight, just to kind of get a side profile to see what that's going to look like. And then he does want to go with taller bars now, because his shoulders are now kind of dropping. Once you sit on the seat, they're a little bit almost low, and we both agreed that he needs to have like leveled arms. So we're gonna look around and see what we've got for a set of like little mini apes. But overall, I mean, the bike looks great. He's got TT pipes for it. He's gonna bring those in so we can kind of eyeball those while it's sitting here too. But I think a low mount 5-inch headlight like that's gonna look really good. I'm going to jump up on the bench so you can see it from another angle. Hopefully this perspective kind of helps. If you look at it from above, it really changes everything, obviously. I don't have to explain that. Everybody realizes the perspective changes things, but it's kind of fun to jump up here and kind of get another angle on it. Obviously, you can see I just threw his pipes on for him. But I don't know, it's really filling out. You know, when we initially were talking about building this bike, or he was talking about building it, you know, he was saying how he wanted to run 19s front and rear, and it's just like, ugh, I don't know how I'm going to like that. You know, it's not really my style. So, yeah, I was a little bit anxious to see how it was going to turn out. Well, then the more he's kind of building it out, it's like, okay, this is actually looking really, really cool. And, you know, the each piece we add to it just really kind of finishes the bike off. So it's got great proportion. It's kind of something a little different as far as what I'm normally going for, which is kind of cool. But yeah, taller bars. And then we've got to get a setup for his rear fender to get mounted, so be a lower mount and then kind of a stubby little sissy bar. He's trying to figure out what he wants to use for a taillight still, so we're gonna dig through and find something cool for that too. But the lines on this thing are really working out, you know, the way the seat and tank and front end kind of flow, the tall wheels, the TT pipes under. You know, you still have a decent amount of ground clearance, but it's kind of filling out all the gaps. It's a really good looking bike. But anyway, we're going to take a break on that. He wants to stare at it for a few days, which totally cool. All right. I think we're going to do a Norton top end. I think that sounds like fun. I've got everything to do this one, so might as well knock it out really quick. Pretty straightforward. It's the James Performance or Jim's, I can't remember, Beehive kit and Kibble White style Black Diamond. I think, because you say JSE, so I think that might be his special one. But either way, and then we got some cool Wiseco pistons. So we're going to do this up. Should be easy. The only thing I have to do that's a little different is he does want to upgrade to the larger studs. The 3/8 studs are like what they used later on. I'm not really 100% sure as to the pros and cons. I know a lot of guys do like to do it, but I have no proof as to saying why anyone should or shouldn't. He just requested it, so I'm going to do it for him. So we'll have to helicoil those and then drill out the holes on the cylinders. But we'll get everything done first, and then we'll tackle that last. I guess we can start by doing some dry blasting. This is actually not too bad of a head. I mean, obviously the carbon needs removed, and then we're just going to get a nice flat finish on the outside, so when I vapor blast it, it looks nice and pretty. Same deal with the cylinders. Dry blast it, inspect it. Should be good. I mean, it already seems to be in very good shape, not abused, no cracks, no damage. But I'll get it dry blasted and check the gasket surface, and then we'll get to boring on it. Yeah, really should go smooth. I'm trying not to say that too much because that's when I get myself in trouble. But yeah, I really like Nortons. They're great engines. The components are great. Seats cut beautifully. I like how much contact the guide has in the head. Usually causes for pretty good alignment. So, also, I want to mention today. I think today, Keith, Fuzzy Biker. Some of you, I think, actually are here because of him. But he does a lot of videos over there at Baxter, and so he stops in and says hi to me every once in a while, and he asked if he could come in and do a little video here down in the shop. So I told him I was more than happy to let him do that, but I just thought I would maybe kind of mention that. So if you haven't already seen his stuff, go check him out. I don't think that I'm going to be in the video. I'd rather not be in it, so we'll see. But he's going to come in and talk about my bike a little bit. And then again, as we talked about already, Justin's bike's up on the lift. We kind of did a few more things to make it look a little bit more finished. So he was proud of it in the video. I thought that was kind of funny. He's like, oh, let me come do a bunch of stuff to it. So I'm cleaning up a little bit. Want to make sure I have a nice presentable shop for everyone who's going to see. But yeah, I'm sure he normally does a lot of stock bikes, and so it'll be interesting to see the response because, people don't like what we do. This is, considered an abomination to a lot of people, which is fine. I mean, I'm definitely not for everybody, but yeah, so he's normally reviewing high-end restorations or original bikes, and obviously new bikes. He does a lot of new Royal Enfields and stuff too, but yeah, what we've got going here isn't exactly for the faint of heart. I wish Raycon would sponsor me. I've been wearing the same pair of their headphones for like 4 years. Every time I do any blasting or run the grinder, I've been wearing them suckers, so I could give a genuine advert because I actually am impressed with them. But that's probably never going to happen. But yeah, if Ray J rides vintage British motorcycles, hit him up because I'd definitely like some of that Raycon money. The most important part of that initial blast is just getting all the carbon out from around the guide, so when I drive it out, I'm not dragging trash through and damaging the internal diameter of where the guide lives. Otherwise, it's mostly just getting all the grease and carbon and all that off, just so when I bake it, I'm not killing myself with fumes. So it's clean enough for now. We'll go back and blast it again once the guides are out. I'm going to go ahead and throw it in the oven, and yeah, then we'll beat these guides out.
You had some very little parts. You didn't build that.
The guys like him do start a lot of trends. Back to the...
All right, we got the cylinder all blasted up, so I went ahead and checked the gasket surface. Everything's looking good there, nice and flat. Both the head and the cylinder are in great shape, so no abuse. And, knock on wood, most Nortons I get are in really good shape, so that's why it's such a pleasure to work on them. We are running these Wiseco pistons that he supplied. You do measure Wisecos in that little naked spot there where there's no coating, and so also to note, this is wanting 5.5 thousandths clearance on this. So I'm going to measure the pistons, get a number on those, and then measure the bore and see what we're taking out here. Okay, so the bore is actually worn standard. It's got about 2 thousandths over the limit. So the pistons are 10 over. So it will be kind of a tight cut. As long as we do a really good job of setting it up, it really shouldn't matter. Normally I don't like doing 10 thousandths cuts, but for this one, because it's in such good shape and the bore is fairly straight, it's got some taper to it, but the bore is within reason. Sometimes you get these and they're just wacky, and that's like 20 guarantee. But yeah, so I will get this set up, triple check it, make sure we are good to go as far as nice and plumb and true and blah blah. That way we can get a really good positive 10. Let's talk about the head though. We got the head blasted, then I went ahead, baked it, and beat out the guides. We are good to go. The guides were standard, and they were nice and tight, so that is super awesome. That means we can go back with standards again, and they were the old iron guide. This is an exhaust one. You can kind of see how eaten away that bottom section gets from the intense environment of the exhaust port. But yeah, we're gonna go with the kibble white magnesium bronze or manganese bronze. We'll put those in, we'll hone the inside diameter, cut the seats, which the seats on this thing are phenomenal. I mean, to be honest, I don't even know if this has ever had a valve job. You can actually see on Norton seats, they're proud of the combustion chamber surface, which is really awesome. It gives you a great opportunity to a nice clean 45. Such a small, face just to begin with, which is a good thing. So the head should be a pretty easy job, honestly. So I will get the cylinder started, go ahead with getting the guides in, and then yeah, we'll just keep going from there. Okay, so we are definitely not going to finish this top end in this video, so sorry about that, but me and my dad have been trying to get my plasma cutter set up at the home shop, and we're finally going to play with it today. So I would rather do that than finish this for this video. So I'm always going to choose fun stuff over whatever you want to consider this. So anyway, we'll get as far as we can, and then I'm going to head out and go have fun with my dad. So let's just go ahead and get these guides installed. I'm going to do that really quick off camera because I'm just trying to go as quick as I can to cover as much as I can. We've got our first pass on the cylinder going, and yeah, so I'll kind of keep you updated on that too, but I'm going to stop talking and work. Alright, well, we didn't get where we wanted to today. I got a few interruptions this morning, so that kind of prevented me from being able to do everything I was hoping to get done. And like I said, I'm going to prioritize going home and playing with that plasma cutter with my dad. So I'll probably pick back up next week with this Norton top end, and then yeah, maybe we'll find something else fun to sneak in there. I would like to maybe do some more about Justin's bike, but yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to call it. Kind of an unfortunate ending, but we got a few things done this week. I didn't really show you. I did get a bunch of matchless center mains done. I actually had to box up and send out a customer's one, but the rest are all for one guy. So that was another thing. And then we did Cub stuff yesterday, and just it's been a week. So yeah, I didn't really get much of a video put together. Let me show you those matchless mains. So there was 6 altogether, but I got these 5 done for Lyndon, and so 5 mains. Pretty much what I was doing was the center mains have the same radius as a Triumph, and so I'd already been set up for a Triumph, and so I just zeroed out the chucks and did these until the stone was kind of at the end of its road as far as the dressing on it. And so I felt comfortable stopping with those 6, and then now I'm ready to switch. I'll put my other wheel on in order to do the rod journals, because those are 9/64, I think. Yeah, 9/64 radius on the rod journal. So all these need to be done. So I'll finish these 5 up as far as both rods getting done, and then move on. I got BSA cranks, Norton cranks, Triumph cranks. I got a bunch of stuff that needs done. So I need to get these 5, and then we've got like 10 more to do after that. So this will keep him busy for now, at least. But yeah, so I had a mix-up of a week. It just didn't really go the way I was hoping. So hopefully the video next week will be more complete. But we'll probably pick up with that Norton top end for the start of next week's video, and just see what else we get done.